I picked up a set of studio monitors for this new area, and they are the Eris E4.5 Presonus. These are 4.5-inch studio monitors by Presonus. So without further ado, let's get into it. Side note, I'm gonna do the unboxing. I'm gonna show you guys how to set these up, and then I'm going to give you my first initial impressions on them. All right, so we're gonna cut this thing open. I'm gonna set this in the chair right here so I can put everything on the desk over here. That way you can see it. Like everything, I bought these on Amazon. I will put a link in the description where I got them. I believe after tax they were $187. I'll put the price right here. Okay, so first thing in the box, you get instructions, warranty, paperwork, with some foam, rubber, anti-slip feet so you're not marring up the surfaces of your desk. Got some styrofoam. And I've had studio monitors in the past, but I ended up getting rid of them. They were the Mackie, no, they weren't Mackie, they were M-Audio studio monitors. So I didn't like the way they sounded. I got rid of them, and I waited till I could find something that produced a better sound, and I came across these. For the price point, they definitely blew the M-Audio studio monitors out of the water. Those were 3.5-inch monitors. These are 4.5-inch. So next in the box, you get power cable, and you get your other cables. So you get RCAs to 3.5 millimeter, you get a stereo cable, and then you get an auxiliary cable. So pretty basic stuff. So you have a active and a passive studio monitor. This is the active, and this is the passive. Now, they both weigh quite a bit. They're not as heavy as I thought they were going to be, but they do weigh quite a bit. So we're going to open the passive first. I tape these on both sides. Have a little knife here. Now, the thing that stood out to me about these, amongst other ones, I was looking at the Rocket KR5s, I believe. They were 5-inch monitors. They were $229. And the thing I like about these is they have a polycarbonate cone, and I like the blue accents. If you can see this here on my desk, I have a little mat that has blue accents. So I'm a fan of blue. So this is the passive speaker. I believe you have a little logo right here that illuminates. You have a 1-inch silk dome tweeter up top and a 4.5-inch driver. On the back, you have a rear firing port with your terminal connections to tie into the active monitor. Next, we're going to get into the active monitor. This one weighs a little bit more, has a little more heft to it. You can see that there. I'm going to set this one on top of the other real quick so you guys get a better view. So on this active one, on the face, same thing. You have a 1-inch silk dome tweeter, polycarbonate driver. You have an adjustable volume knob with an aux-in input. And another cool feature is a headphone input. Over here on the right side, you have an on-off power switch with your Presonus logo badging right here. If we spin this around, on the back side, you have, again, rear firing port, your terminal connections to tie this active speaker to the passive, acoustic tuning knobs. You can change the frequency output. You have a low cut off and acoustic space tuning. So down here you have a diagram that shows you whatever directions you're facing your speakers, whether you're flat against the wall, the corner of a room. You have different diagrams that you can adjust the acoustic space and tune these properly to get the best performance out of them. So your inputs, you have a TRS left and right balanced input. These are 1/4-inch inputs. And you have your RCA unbalanced left and right inputs as well. Alright, real quick before we go up top, I wanted to point something out. So on the back of these, how I was talking about your inputs, you have balanced and unbalanced. Your RCAs are going to be unbalanced. You might hear some static white noise. With the balance, it's going to eliminate that. So you have two different configurations you can hook these up with. You have your RCAs, which look like this. Just standard RCAs to 3.5. RCAs 3.5. Then you have the balanced, which I already own from my last set of monitors. You have the 1/4-inch jacks to 3.5. So you have two different configurations you can run them in. Personally, you're not probably going to notice a huge difference, but for the purpose of this review, I'm going to use these 1/4-inch to 3.5 to hook these up. So we're going to go up top. I'm going to hook these up to the computer and give you kind of a crude test of how these sound. The reason I have these is I have a mixer on the way that I'm going to be hooking these monitors up to, so it will deliver much better sound than just direct plug and play into a computer. So without further ado, let's go up top. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention is I picked up monitor isolation pads for these. Everything I bought, I purchased on Amazon. So these specific isolation pads are made for 5-inch monitors. So we have two platforms. These are wedge cut, so you can set them at specific angles or what have you. For right now, I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So we're going to set one over here. We're going to set this other one back here in the corner. So I'm going to plug this up and then we'll get back to the sound test.